Hello, friends. It's Rebecca, the Alabama librarian, reporting to you from day 17, part 2. Have I gotten any sleep since I filmed part 1 this morning at 3:30? No, I have not, but it is a better day in all other regards. Many improvements have been made. We have a beautiful blue sky outside, better lighting. I won't say I have better hair, but it's different hair. It's a bit of an experiment today. So there we go. Today, I want to talk about my top tip for coping with these unprecedented times, as they keep saying on the news, and that is to ration your consumption of social media. For an example, I gave up Twitter for several weeks, starting the day that Elizabeth Warren dropped out of the presidential race, for the simple fact that every time I scrolled through Twitter that day, um, all I saw was grief and rage and despair and disappointment, and I felt many of those same emotions myself in varying degrees, but to see it magnified and amplified and echoed and re-echoed every time I scrolled, that was not helpful for me. I know for some people that is helpful to have their emotions validated like that with such a large crowd of diverse people, but for me, not helpful. So if I can extrapolate to our current circumstances, I'll be honest, I don't see a lot of good news out there right now about the pandemic. It's kind of bleak, not gonna lie. So particularly when it comes to these first person accounts, these horror stories, for lack of a better word, from people on the front lines, doctors, nurses, grocery store workers, postal workers, just everyone who's seeing the effects that this situation is ravaging on people right now. And I can see how those firsthand accounts are all well and good in their own way. I can see how they would be a cathartic outlet for the people who are writing them. I can see how they might convince people to take this situation seriously when those people might not have otherwise taken this seriously. For my part, I'm taking this seriously, hence why I have been inside making these videos for the last 2 weeks-ish and more. So like mission accomplished as far as I'm concerned, and I don't really see the benefit to me personally consuming any more of those stories from the front lines for the time being. I don't really have the bandwidth, the emotional bandwidth to deal with it right now, if that's the right metaphor. I don't, that sounds engineering-ish. I was an English major. I don't know what I'm talking about, but you know what I mean. So the metaphor I keep coming back to is the one that when you're on an airplane that's in distress, you are instructed to put on your own oxygen mask before helping others put on their oxygen masks. My friend Tyler this morning told me we can't pull each other up if we're all down. And Lamott wrote something to the effect of saying, I think societies only work because we're not all depressed at the same time. Just this morning, Glennon Doyle posted something saying, and I'm paraphrasing again, don't ask whether the ship is going down. Ask, who do I want to be on this ship today? I love that. So I'm trying to focus more on who I want to be on this ship today. What can I do to help others, to keep myself safe, to keep them safe? I'm trying not to get caught up in everything I can't do, and that's helping. So a few things I have found comforting and perspective giving in these times. And we're joined right now by Chester. Hi, Chester. He got up really early with me this morning, so he's a little disoriented this morning. Also a little grumpy, if I'm not gonna lie. But he's still being a good buddy. Yeah, there we go. Okay, he's hopped down. So 4 things that I found comforting. First of all, is of course a book. I have a professional reputation to uphold. So this is The Plague and I by Betty McDonald. It chronicles her time in a tuberculosis ward for many, many months in, I believe, the 1930s. So great book, very poignant, hilarious at times, very relevant to our current times. So The Plague and I, Betty McDonald. Next up, another book. This one was my grandmother's that she brought it to my attention. Mama Makes Up Her Mind by Bailey White. Oh, and the subtitle is And Other Dangers of Southern Living. This author has lived all her life in South Georgia, North Florida, that area there. So this is a book of short essays about Southern living and all the hilarities and sobering instances that come along with that. So, great book. Third thing is this quilt top that I found on eBay. As far as the seller could figure, it's from the 1960s. There it is. It's nice and cheery and colorful and pretty and bright, and I'm very excited to work with it. Once again, it's just the top of the quilt. It's not put together, so you see all those raw edges of the quilt top. I will make another video in the future about the plans I have for this quilt top and the others that I found on eBay. I do have a plan, so stay tuned for that. The fourth thing that brings me joy today, that I take comfort in, is a rendition of Mozart's Rondo alla Turca, played on 4 calculators. I'll link to it in the description. It is amazing. I'm still not sure it's completely real, but I guess it's amazing. Anyway, so one last thing on our agenda today, friends, and that is today's poem for National Poetry Month. Today we're reading an excerpt from Spring Again by Jesus Papoleto Melendez. Spring came, the same way winter left, and summer will come, and summer will leave. Slowly, when no one's expecting it, when people are tired of waiting, like waiting for welfare checks, a long wait, a slow wait. Once again, that was an excerpt from Spring Again by Jesus Papoleto Melendez. Read the whole poem at the link in the description at the Poetry Foundation. Friends, that is the end of today's episode, for lack of a better word. I hope you stay safe. I hope you take care of your neighbors. I hope you focus or refocus, whatever it takes, on the things that you can do. Let's focus on that and band together and solve this thing. All right. Mwah. Love you. Bye.